Ahoy! So I've been reading a bunch of manga lately, and by a bunch I mean a few. And well, I thought I'd give y'all some recommendations because I'm nice like that. I've handpicked 3 new series that, at least to my mind, are really good. So without further ado, let's get to it. First on the list, we got Centuria. Now, I've already made a video on Centuria, but I thought I'd still give it a proper shout out because it's really that good. Especially after chapter 100 that came out recently. This manga artist knows what he or she is doing, I'll tell you that right now, because that chapter was a banger. It's a dark fantasy manga that reminds me of both Vinland Saga and Berserk in some ways. Now, I'm not saying it's either better or worse, but it does pass the vibe check. So if you enjoyed those, you're probably going to be enjoying this one as well, I imagine. It focuses around a young man who's been a slave since childhood and is suddenly thrown into a world of terrifying revelations. He also becomes like an adoptive parent slash sibling, so while it does have a bunch of action sequences, there's a lot more to it than just senseless violence on a page. It's a very character-driven story, so the plot may or may not be the most unique or the deepest thing you're ever gonna come across, but it really lets you experience character growth, whether it's physical, emotional, or even spiritual. The character focus is really balanced too, and they all complement each other's role within the story. So if you're looking for something darker yet still very much within the shonen bubble, Centuria is definitely going to catch your attention. Okay, next up we got Someone Hertz. It's a slice of life manga about 2 students who both listen to the same comedy program on the radio late at night. The premise of the series is that they send in funny responses to a weekly prompt given by the radio host, and if they're lucky, their message will be read out loud. Each time that happens, they're given points, and basically, if they get enough points by the end of each quote-unquote season, they get to participate in a live contest of who can send in the funniest jokes. Naturally, there's a male and female dynamic in a manga like this. You know the drill, boy meets girl, boy gotta impress the girl. This one is of course a bit hit or miss, I imagine. I really like it of course, but if you're not really into slice of life, you're probably not going to gravitate towards this manga, but it feels like a really fresh take as far as slice of life goes, given the general premise of the story. It also has a bunch of fun characters you get to know, as you might expect. There's a pretty good balance of just characters messing around, having a stupid good time, and the story actually moving forward, because you really do feel like there is progression happening quite actively, even though the characters can sometimes feel like they're just doing the dumbest things, as often is the case in slice of life or comedy focused manga and anime series. But the competitive nature of the main characters is what really makes this manga feel a bit more engaging than your average rom-com. Moving on to the third and final recommendation today, we got Witchriv. Are you interested in a very traditional story about witches? A story that is not directly linked to, but is clearly inspired by the Salem witch trials? Well, boy do I have a manga for you. Witchriv focuses around a teenage girl who lives in a society where being a witch is not just a taboo, it will get you imprisoned or worse. Witches are not just criminals, they're demonized. Every single day is a battle of deception and con artistry, trying to convince everyone around you that you're like them. But the main character of Witchriv is in fact not just like them. She is a witch. Big surprise, right? This series is, in my opinion, one of the most interesting stories I'm currently reading. It's still very early on into its lifespan, only 37 chapters by the time I'm recording this, but that first chapter just hooks you, and when it does, you just can't put it down. So the general premise, outside of the obvious don't get caught, blend in, etc., is that the main character is basically on a mission to find someone who was lost to her. Naturally, she meets all kinds of interesting people along the way, some good, some bad. She has to overcome a multitude of challenges along the way, whether it's physically or mentally taxing, whatever it takes to get where she needs to go. And while she's on this adventure, she's also discovering herself, learning things about herself and her powers that she never knew. It can be really dark at times too. I've had this manga make me really give a WTF moment once or twice within the first 37 chapters. Well, those are the 3 manga series that I'm currently recommending you pick up. If you haven't already, of course, let me know if you plan to check them out. And if you have any other manga recommendations of your own, do let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, whether it's manga, anime, or video game related. I'm Frogheim, and I'll see you next time.